my darlings, how are you? I hope that you were doing amazing. It's DarlingDTarot bringing you another deck review. So for today, we are getting right into this and reviewing one of my absolute favorite oracle decks in my collection, and it is the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle deck. It is a White Witch Oracle deck. This deck itself was created by Athene Noctua. I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly, but this is one of my absolute favorite decks because it covers all 24 runes, and I love rune sets, I love runes, I love Norse mythology, and my boyfriend is such a sweetheart. He actually went online and he bought me this deck. I put it on my wish list that I wanted it, and he surprised me with it. So how sweet is that? Oh my goodness. And it's easily been one of my favorite decks that I have since. And I really love not only the animal energy that is brought to each rune and that is really seen throughout each card, but I really love the colors that are picked with each card as well. You will notice that each card has its own specific color, has its own specific feel, and its own specific energy. So we're going to have a lot to cover in this, even though there's not a lot to cover to begin with, since it is only 24 cards. You know, and obviously it did not come with a book or with a leaflet, but it does come with an online PDF file. So you can download it, you can look at it on your phone. That's actually how I have been accessing it whenever I want to read a little bit more about the author's perspective or how these runes should be used. I just pull it up on my phone in my little notepad and it does the charm, right? It does the trick. So here's the cover of it. It is so gorgeous. As you can see, the artwork is just so phenomenally detailed. I love that I can even just zoom in and just look at all of the line work as well. But down here, it kind of talks about how this is really going to help you if you're a beginner, if you're someone who is just learning how to use runes. It also teaches you what runes are, how to navigate the PDF file itself. There is also a little area where you can see the contents, little table of contents here, where you can see each rune in alphabetical order. So down here, you know, you can see everything that we are going to be looking at. So there also comes with keywords, magical workings, and then the overall summary. Now they'll also give a little bit of a summary up here as well, where it basically talks about the animal, it talks about the energy that the animal brings forward as well, and it talks about the overall energy of the rune. So it's a very straightforward kind of PDF file. I was gonna say app, but it's really not an app. I'm so used to using apps now that I just kind of say it. But down here, it shows you how to cast your rune cards. It shows you spreads as well. There's the Three Sisters spread. There's the 3 to the power of 3 spread. There is also the ultimate outcome spread, the full picture spread in closing as well. But going forward, it says, I hope these cards have inspired a passion for this ancient magical system and the special animal companions that we share this planet with. I have truly enjoyed bringing this deck to life, and I hope as it continues its journey with you, you get just as much pleasure from it too. Brightest blessings, Athene. Beautiful. Okay, and I did want to say really quick, sorry if there's times throughout this review where the camera's a little bit blurry. I'm still learning how to work this camera a little bit better, and I have to kind of manually focus it, but I'm sure I'll get better at it as I get used to this new setup. But going forward, onto the box, as you can see, it is a very beautiful gold leaf, very ornate, very lush, very beautiful. I love all of the little details that were really put into this deck. You know, you can really see how the author and the illustrator really went that extra mile to make sure that everything was just so perfect and so beautiful. But yeah, it's just a really simple black box. It kind of reminds me of a jewelry box, to be honest, kind of the feel of it and the quality of the box as well, I guess would be the best way to put it. But going forward onto the actual cards, that's what we're all here for, right? That's kind of the main meat and potatoes. So without any further ado, let's just dive right in. So let's start off, and I'll show you guys the back really quick. So here is the moon in the center of the card, and then we have all 24 runes circling it. So here is the first card. I think I put these upside down. There we go, that's better. How beautiful are these cards though, you guys? Aren't they awesome? And I love how every card, you know, it kind of has that pop of color. You know, especially in regards to the flowers that are shown in each card as well. It almost kind of reminds me of tattoo artwork as well, if that makes sense. Which is also something that I really love. Growing up, my mom managed a tattoo parlor, so tattoo and tattoo art is kind of like a second home for me. And then there's the back again. So the cardstock is actually really, really thick. I love it. It's not one of those cardstocks that are really hard to shuffle though, which is very surprising considering it is very thick. And it's a very small deck. You wouldn't expect it to be as easy to shuffle as it is, but it is extremely, extremely easy to shuffle, to be completely honest. So let me just get this set up a little bit, and then we will shuffle and we will do a little reading for anyone who is still watching, and then we will look it up in the PDF file. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to shuffle. It bends good. It's not like it's very hard to bend either. See, there you go. Bends very easily, and when you bend it, it doesn't just stay there, right? It bends right back into place. It very much keeps its shape, which is something that I really love. I don't know, that's just something that I personally really value in a tarot or oracle deck, is if a card can keep its shape, especially after I've been kind of shuffling it rather aggressively. So let's go ahead and ask a question of what should those know that are still watching this video. Also, I do want to show you guys that it can be kind of waterfalled as well. Of course, I'm not the best waterfall shuffler. They're also really good at mixing around because it comes with a very beautiful kind of matte finish on both ends, which is really nice. There's a little bit of a shine to it, but other than that, it's a very matte, it's very soft as well. I love the cardstock. I actually have spilled a little bit of water on these as well, and they have come out unscathed. I have used these so much too, and the sides are completely undamaged, which is very shocking to me. It's very phenomenal to me when a deck can kind of put up with the abuse that I put it through on a daily basis, because honestly, I'm very aggressive with my cards. I like to kind of Hulk out on them. The corners and the sides always get so worn down and so icky looking, so it's always really nice to have a deck that doesn't get like that. So let's go ahead and grab one card for whoever is still watching. Some advice. Is it Thurisaz? It is. Oh man, I knew it. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite cards. I absolutely love the depiction of the wolf. I love the depiction of the fire as well. I just think it's so gorgeous. It really invokes the feeling of feeling passionate, of feeling dedicated and determined, or, you know, maybe even being in kind of a sticky situation. So let's go ahead and grab the PDF file, and we will look up Thurisaz. Okay, so we go to the PDF file now, and we are going to find Thurisaz. So let's go down to the table of contents, Thurisaz, wolf, number 3. So let's go down to 3. It says the wolf protects his pack and does not back down from a challenge. Unlike the bull, which stands his ground, the wolf takes the fight to the adversary. He is driven by a passionate internal fire that can warm but also burn. If you don't heed the wolf's growl, he will eventually bite. Thurisaz has an element of chaos, of destructive natural forces, aggression, and conflict. These are united for the purpose of defense and protection. It can also represent potent male sexuality. And so if you want to read the rest, you can. I'm going to go quickly to the reverse, and it says, in reverse, it's danger, defenselessness, and betrayal, explosive violence, strife, and irritation, a bad man or woman. So for keywords, it says protection, passion, defense, conflict, and male potencies. Magical workings. While there are good and probably better runes for protection, Thurisaz can be useful to defend against adversaries. So this is a really awesome PDF as well, because of course it does tell you the upright, but it also tells you the reverse. And I really love that about this deck, is that it doesn't just go for the upright, it does go for the reverse, and it really does help you with learning how to read regular runes as well. So definitely let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this deck, if you like the artwork, you know, if you like the PDF file, if you're someone who likes to have tangible books, if you're someone who likes to have leaflets or booklets or actual books, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be very curious on hearing you guys' opinions on this. You know, I personally don't mind. I do love having like them for my collection and for my shelf, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really need it printed? You know, like, is it really good to be chopping down that tree just for a book for me? You know, so I definitely, I kind of want to stay mindful as well about the tarot decks that I own, which is why I like to, only when I buy decks, buy the majority used or already owned, just because I don't want to like be creating a whole bunch of waste or a whole bunch of, I feel like just clutter that's going to stay on the planet after I'm gone, right? And I know these are all things that can be kind of passed down to future generations or to more future witches and people that are really going to appreciate them, but at the same time, it really does make you think about all of the cards that, you know, maybe are made out of more of a plasticky material that'll take a little bit longer to break down. I don't know. I'm really interested to hear you guys' opinions, and even the books, right? I can't tell you guys how many times I have went to thrift stores and I found just the tarot books because people, I guess, have like lost the cards. And that's how I usually come into contact with a new deck that I want to get as well, because if I find the book at a regular store or something and I'm like, ooh, this looks like a really neat deck, you know, I'm gonna check that out, because that's actually how I got a few of my decks. Is I went to a local bookshop in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I was looking around and I saw this oracle deck and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's so cool. But yeah, so it's very few and far between that I get like an actual new deck, and usually when I do, it's either just kind of a splurge or it's someone buying it for me. Usually my boyfriend buys me a lot of decks, especially new decks. Yeah, so but yeah, definitely let me know, and leave my boyfriend some nice comments as well down below, because it was so sweet of him to buy me this deck. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this review. Let me know how you like this new camera setup as well. Gosh, lots of things I just want to talk to you guys about in the comments, but I hope you guys didn't mind the ramble, and I hope to see you in the next review. Bye!